Welcome in, everybody. James Phillips here. This is week 3, and it's our DME Prep Zone wrap-up show. Brian?
It's hard to believe we're already in week 3.
We're already finished with week 3. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But what a night. We had some blowouts. We had some close games. It's high school football season, and it's a lot of fun.
How about mind-blowing would be a good representation of this week.
Let's start out this week in a game that I think probably surprised most people. Sulligent beat Summerton Christian. Now, we thought they'd probably win, but a lot of people didn't think it'd be this close, 38-28. Summerton Christian's really showing that they've got some moxie this year.
Yeah, and at halftime, we were checking in on this. It was 22-0. 22-20.
Right.
So that really meant that, Summerton Christian was hanging on. Sulligent is a playoff team.
Right.
And these games last year were being, run into 6 to 8 minute quarters, in the second half. So this was really showing the progress. And the good news for Summerton Christian, they've got through these first 3 games, which were going to be their biggest hurdles. Now the schedule lightens up a little bit, and we get to see their real progress.
That's right. Yeah, Summerton Christian, they're 0-3, but they got beat last week, 40-something to 6, but still, they really played close to Decatur Heritage, much closer than what that score seemed.
Absolutely.
And then really could have had a win over Hanceville. Played well tonight, good enough to win, and then just kind of gave it away late. But a very good job so far out of that Summerton Christian coaching staff to have them turned around as much as they are and still be 0-3.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go to Oakman. The Wildcats, 48-13. They were all over Holton. We knew this was going to be the case. The Ironmen just could not keep up with Oakman tonight.
Yeah, but what's really, really, really unfortunate is one of the Oakman players was airlifted, we believe, to Children's Hospital.
Right.
We knew the identity. We're not going to say it, but just, James, with what happened at Pat County and now this, our hearts go out so much to the Oakman community. We know how much they love their teams. I know we're trying to concentrate on the scores, but we've watched the tragedies over the past 12 months, and right now we feel for them. But when it comes back to the game right now, I really believe that Oakman is doing exactly what we thought they'd do. We knew that they were going to return a very strong team this year, and they're already showing it out the gate. I'm really going to be interested to see when they get into the real meat of the schedule, where they're dealing with the Gordos, when they're dealing with these teams out there that are the top dogs. How they're going to do. Oakman's going to have a great year no matter what, but they're showing what we knew they were going to do. Right,
and the Wildcats, they've opened up with a couple of teams that are winless and beating Curry and beating Holt, but they've done what they were supposed to do. They went out and they dominated both those games. Christian Hubbard had an incredible game tonight. I imagine he will probably be our player of the week this week on offense, and he just rolled and rolled and rolled. So, and we do want to send our thoughts and prayers out to the Oakman folks for multiple reasons. We've had a lot of different things going on in Oakman, and one that we haven't mentioned, a great friend of ours, Bull Corey, has had some sickness in his life over the last several weeks and was diagnosed with a form of cancer, and we're praying for Bull and want him to bounce back as well.
But Bull's got the heart of a bull.
That's right.
He's fighting it, and Bull's going to make it through this all the way.
If you're like me and you see him on his Facebook page, I've seen his daughter posted, and she's posted hashtag Bull Strong, and Bull has posted hashtag Not Dead Yet. So he's fighting it, and that's the kind of personality that you get out of Bull.
He's a Brahma Bull.
That's right. All right, let's go to an absolute terrible game this week. South Lamar beats Meek 62-0. We knew that was going to be bad, but Meek just I don't want to say too much because they are just struggling.
They are struggling fiercely. I looked through the schedule. James, in 3 weeks, they put up 18 points.
Right.
And I'm looking through the schedule, and I don't know where Meek's going to come up with a win. They've got to get some kind of continuity. But right now, if I was them, I would just be looking to score some points. All of their points came against Winston County, so they've had 2 shutouts in 3 weeks.
Let's go to what was a close game. came down right to the wire, and I believe Lynn fumbled it late in the game as they were driving down the field. Lynn loses to Marion County 20-18. We knew that this would be a close game, and when we talked on the preview show, several of us waffled back and forth. Are we going to pick Lynn or are we going to pick Marion County? And we went with Marion County. But 20-18, very good game there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we don't know the ins and outs of it, but, we knew it was going to be a slugfest. And that's apparently what happened there. So good news for Lynn. They've still got the open path as far as the region, and that's probably going to be their toughest region test that they had.
In Class 5A, Region 7, we thought this might be a matchup with some playoff implications, and really it went. I picked Russellville to win, but I thought it would be a close game. I thought Russellville would win by maybe a touchdown. It was 41-7, Russellville over Corner.
And see, I thought the reverse. I thought we were probably going to see maybe a 17-14 Corner victory, but I don't think any of us saw this big of a blowout. So what I take away from this is apparently Jasper knows who's going to be the top dog next to them in the region right now. I think the pecking order has been decided right now, and everybody I think is going to be just like last year, is going to be looking at that Jasper-Russellville game to decide who's the region champion. But it's apparent to me we know who the two big dogs are now.
In a game that we were split on the limb, Good Hope and Cordova, several people had picked Cordova to win this game. Good Hope comes in and they win 27-14. Good Hope shows that there's a reason they won 10 or 11 games last year.
Yeah, that one really surprised me. I thought that once you get away from the first game jitters and trying to get everything along with the new coach and the new coaching staff, and along with being away from Hamilton, I thought to myself, okay, Cordova's back at home, they should take this. Wow. Hopefully Cordova can get it together, because I know that they got the good coach and the right coach in the place. I guess it's just right now it's a matter of continuity.
Hey, a big win for one of our Walker County schools tonight. Carbon Hill picks up their first win, 35-29 over Greene County, and that's huge for head coach Chavis Williams. Good for him to get his first victory tonight. And 35-29, the Bulldogs showed some offense tonight. And
we all here, because so many of us have covered Coach Chavis Williams from the time that he was playing at Dora, through his Alabama days, even with the Ravens. He comes back home, he gets his first win. We're so happy for him. We know that it was coming, and now that it is, now he can push the program forward like we know that we do. So congratulations, Coach Williams and the Carbon Hill Bulldogs. And plus, our new sideline reporter debuted giving his first head coach interview tonight.
That's true, yeah. Little Zach McCullough, who people watch every week making his picks on Mountain Eagles Facebook page, he talked to Chavis after the game on the field, and there's a picture floating around Facebook of those two talking. And Chavis is a pretty tall guy; he's a little bit taller than I am, and Zach's way down here. But so it's a kind of a funny photo. But Zach is fearless when it comes to interviewing high school football coaches.
And I know I can probably speak this with 100% certainty. Coach Chavis Williams was very happy to be giving that interview and giving it to him.
Right. I called this a double game of the week kind of this week, because we had a couple of games that were rivalries, and you were at this one. You were at Addison to see Winston County and Addison picked up the win about where we expected, 36-14. What can you say about that game, since you were on the air and broadcasting that on mountaineagle.com?
Well, first quarter was a complete disaster for Winston County. I mean, at the end of the first quarter, they had 3 turnovers and they had 4 really bad penalties. And from there, I mean, Addison just took control of all of that. They scored really quickly and really often, and just everything just tantamount. Addison really didn't have a big standout player. Everybody was contributing, which Coach Smothers had said that in his postgame interview. We won this as a unit, and that's what really stood out. Winston County just never really could get anything on track ever. Their one score that was against the starters for Addison did come in the first quarter. The second one was against the backups.
Right.
So Addison, really just dominated the game top to finish. But I would think everything really started with the miscues and the mistakes for Winston County. Luckily for Winston County, if there's anything that they could take away from this, it was not a region game.
Yeah,
Even though
true.
they're both in the same classifications, not a region game. So therefore, Winston County can go into next week when they play Tarrant and say to themselves, hey, we're starting new. This is a region slate. This is where we begin it.
Right. And in our Southern Orthopedic Prep Zone Game of the Week, and I do need to mention prepzone.com, DMEprepzone.com. That's where I'm getting all of our scores every Friday night. Get your scoring updates here. They're live throughout the night. And also just during the week, we've got our recaps from each game are on here. We have our preview information, stats, schedules, region standings, a little bit of everything on DMEprepzone.com. And we want to thank Southern Orthopedic for being our title sponsor. And if you look at the little ticker going across the screen here where we've got all the scores, we also mentioned all of our other sponsors as well. So be sure to thank those folks for supporting Prep Zone. Well, Brian, it wasn't much of a game. Jasper wins 66-0 over the Dora Bulldogs. Just from beginning to end, it was a blowout.
Well, JP, we all pretty much expected Jasper to win this game. I was thinking 24-14, somewhere in there.
Right.
But 66-0. I mean, we were sitting there and we kept scrolling through and looking for scoring updates, and we just see it just adding up and adding up and adding up. And
it was adding up fast.
I know. I mean, it was just incredible that we were just kind of like, is this honestly Jasper Dora?
Somebody asked me earlier today what I thought the score would be. It was actually my brother asked me what the score would be. I told him I didn't think Dora could score on Jasper. But I had no idea Jasper would put that many points up. I said it'd be somewhere in the range of 33-0, something like that. I would have never guessed 66-0. And a lot of things fell into place. I don't think Jasper was trying to run that score up necessarily. Early in the game, you had rushing touchdowns. They had 3 different running backs that had 2 touchdowns. Caden Shelton, J.C. Collins, and Trayvon Stewart all had 2 touchdowns. Caden Shelton went over the 100-yard mark. Stewart had 80-something yards. Collins had 70-something yards. The Jasper offense ran for 230-something yards in the first half, compared to Dora's offense ran for -11 yards in the first half.
Goodness.
It was 42-0 at halftime. Every kid on the Jasper team got to play. There were 26 different Viking players who had a tackle.
Wow.
I mean, that tells you there.
Wait a minute. I mean, Stone Phillips got on the field.
Stone Phillips did.
Stone
He got a
Phillips
tackle
got
as well.
on the field and got a tackle.
I don't want to brag about my own kid too much, but he did.
You can do that.
He did a good job. He was in on several plays and did a good job once the second unit got in.
Well, I think there's 2 things that we can definitely take for this. Number one, we know what the pecking order is right now in Region 7 at this moment. There's no doubt about it. The 2 top dogs, Jasper, Russellville. That's number one. Number 2, anybody want to question now whether or not Jasper should have that number 1 ranking? I think that's been solved also.
Right. I mean, there's still a lot to prove for this Jasper team. They, they haven't won a whole lot yet. It's 2 games. Beat Coleman, beat Dora. But they did this in dominating fashion. That's what you want to see out of a number 1 team. Coach Moore mentioned after the game that they did this, they looked to their volleyball team for inspiration.
Wow. Well, the volleyball team did win a state championship last year, and that's definitely a sign that, hey, you're looking within your own program, your own athletic program. That's a good thing.
Well, and to hear what Coach Moore had to say after the game, let's go to his interview now.
I'm just proud of our kids and how far they've come and grown. It's unbelievable. It's hard to put it into words. I mean, now we got some things we got to clean up. But golly, man, we played pretty well, and so I can't coach speak you right now. I'll be honest. I mean, every kid on the football team got to play in a varsity game. That's huge, man. It's huge for the development of our program, and just proud of it.
Well, how do you think the team responded getting the number 1 ranking this week, and then they come out and they play well?
Well, it was all about, not just putting a passion. Really, I mean, actually we used our volleyball team as the example. All they do is go out and dominate, and that's what we needed to do. And this is the first, to me, truly dominating win that we've had outside of maybe the Russellville game. But as far as like, golly, man, we're playing young kids at like 10 minutes left in the third quarter. You know, it's been a long time since I've been a part of one of those, and I'm just proud for our administration and community for this win and our team.
Next week you pick up corner. They're losing tonight to Russellville by a couple of touchdowns last time I saw.
They're really good.
Big game though.
They're good, man. Russell's good. You know what they bring. I don't know where that game is right now.
It's at Russellville.
Man, it's tough, you know. But corner's got a really good football team, but we're going to enjoy it, man. You know, I know everybody says that, but you have to. You have to kind of, decompress a little bit. That's my deal. Tomorrow we'll go back to work on corner, but right now, man, that's a rivalry win. It's just special. You don't get many of those.
Congratulations, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, we're back. You heard what Coach Moore had to say. He talked about it being a dominating win, and that's what they needed. So now Jasper, they look to corner that we thought could be a battle of undefeated teams in the region. Corner falls. Still going to be a tough game, though. The Yellow Jackets are a very good football team.
They are, but right now, even preliminary this early, I'd have to say corner's going to have a lot of Jasper turnovers, a lot.
Well, Brian, you want to talk about some college football real quick? There's not a lot to talk about. Our Alabama and Auburn, they're playing kind of a cupcake schedule this weekend. Alabama's got New Mexico State. I think they're favored by 50-something points. I don't think they're covering that. So if you're looking to me for your betting this weekend, I would not lay it down on Alabama. But I think I would play that Auburn bet. They're less than a 20-point favorite to Tulane. Tulane's an improved program, but not that improved.
Yeah, the Auburn will cover that without any problem. I don't think Alabama will cover it unless the backups really, really, really just dominate. And I don't think they do. But, I mean, I'm going to Tuscaloosa tomorrow. This is my type of game. You get to see the stars for a little while, plus you get to see the stars of the future.
Right.
So you get to mix of both worlds, and hopefully the traffic won't be too bad.
That's right. Then we do have a couple big games in college this weekend. LSU traveling to Texas. They're playing Texas. That should be a good game. We talked about that the other day on our preview show. Both of us went with LSU in that game, right?
Yeah, I think LSU right now has an edge. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a very good game. But I give LSU an edge, which is kind of hard for me because, the Longhorns are one of my favorite teams also. So, but, I've got to go with reality here. I just think that LSU is right now where they need to be, and Texas still has a little bit more work to do.
And then the other big college game, we've got Texas A&M traveling to Clemson. It's going to be a big game. Our friend Jeffrey Winborn, who's actually producing this show tonight, he picked Texas A&M in the upset. I think he's crazy.
I don't think it's an extremely unlikely pick, but if I would give you this percentage, I'd say the chances of winning Texas A&M would be somewhere around 30%. I mean, I don't think it's that good enough. I just think that they're not ready. I think Jimbo Fisher's got a little bit more work before he's ready for the prime time. But I will say this, JP, if they do end up beating Clemson, look out.
Oh, yeah,
they're way ahead of schedule.
It's a statement, but I really think Clemson pulls off the win. I think that it may be a convincing win. I don't think we're going to have too many crazy things happen this weekend in college football. It'll probably be the next weekend because we're going to have a full moon. Mm-hmm. And that, crazy things happen with the full moon. So that's when we'll probably see a number one team fall to some random, Georgia State or somebody.
Yeah. Of course,
like Tennessee did.
38-30 special.
Right,
I love that.
It's just good to bring it up every now and then, right?
Well, something, honestly, Alabama and Auburn fans can both agree on one thing. Nobody really likes Tennessee. And if you ask Tennessee fans, they'll just say, yeah, we hate Bama. Auburn fans, I tell you this, I used to live in Tennessee. They can't stand you either.
Right,
So
they hate everybody.
They hate everybody from the state of Alabama. So we can all laugh at them.
It's jealousy is what it is.
Of course, yeah.
Brian, I guess that's it. We probably need to mention, though, don't forget, all afternoon, all evening in downtown Jasper, it's the Foothills Festival, which is our biggest event of the year in Jasper. They'll be we're recording this on Friday night after the games and after the concert. There were tons and tons of people. People are saying it's the biggest Friday night crowd they've ever seen. So if that's the case, we're probably going to see the biggest Saturday night crowd that we've ever seen tonight, with Blues Traveler taking the stage.
You had to say Blues Traveler, man.
I know.
I want to go see it.
North Mississippi All-Stars are going to be there. They are incredible musicians. It's going to be really a lot of fun.
It will be. It will be.
So everybody needs to go downtown Jasper. There's tons of vendors. We've got a food court this year, tons of food. I know I talked to Kelly Rigsby from Five Loaves today, and they are making some deep-fried hamburgers, and they're making what I really want to try is a hot dog egg roll.
You know something, in between that and Blues Traveler, if you could have that while you're watching or listening to Blues Traveler, to me that's ideal. And you've got it right here.
That's my plan for sure.
Wow.
And then
You're going to be lucky.
I also wanted to say I'm glad that you got the memo that we were going to wear ringed shirts today. I don't know if that is a fashion statement that we need to make very often, but I'm glad that we both did it on the same day without planning that out.
You won't believe this, but I actually wore this shirt in honor of you because this guy's nephew, Jordan, calls him Mr. Krabs.
That's true. He thinks I'm cheap and grumpy.
Yeah.
Which I'm neither one.
I know, but my daughter reminds me all the time to say hello to Mr. Krabs.
Right.
And who do you think prodded her?
It's got to be
Your
Jordan.
nephew.
That's right. That's right. So, guys, thank you for tuning in again. Remember, look down below at our little ticker. Thank those sponsors. We couldn't do this without them, and we couldn't do it without you guys. The audience and the response that we've gotten this year for our Prep Zone stuff has been incredible, and we just want to keep it up throughout the high school season. We've got a lot of teams that are doing really well, and we want you guys to come out and support them, and we want you to watch our shows each week. So for Brian Hale, I'm James Phillips. We'll see you guys next week.